Welcome to the Fishbowl Radio, everybody. My name is Chief here, and with me this week, since Juicy's MIA, for the last 4 weeks, I haven't seen him at all. So, Mike
I
Concho.
think it's because LSU's not undefeated this year. I think that's why he's probably not joined us.
Yeah, probably not, because he wanted to talk so bad in the preseason about LSU going undefeated this year. But, I mean, Juicy can't defend himself since he's down the radio show this week. He might come back next week. I got faith in him. Well, really, I don't, but
I should be back for every other show. Last week was just a little too crazy with school for me to try to attempt to get on the show.
Yeah, I was donating plasma last week. I might do that Monday. Make some more money. I get $75 if I go this time. Hey, I think it's worth it. And help people out, Same time. It's a mutual benefit, bro. Let's see. We got some good games coming up this week, boys and girls. Let's start it off here. First, we got some big news that we need to discuss, Mike. We're heading to Tulane, which is in New Orleans, Louisiana this week for the UL Lafayette versus Tulane home game. And I was looking at places to park, and I was like, I might go park at the Superdome. Then I realized something. Beyonce is going to be performing at the Superdome the same night. So I'm like, it's going to be kind of hard to get out of there if we need to get out of there and stuff like that. So we moved closer to Tulane's campus for our unloading of everything we're going to bring. So Mike, are you a Beyonce fan, Mike?
I like some of her music. I don't pertain to that kind of genre that often, but I mean, she has good music. I wouldn't pay to go see her if you want to put it that way.
What about all the single ladies, though?
There's probably a lot of single ladies.
What? Yeah, so.
They should have put a ring on it.
If you like it, you should have put a ring on it. God. All right.
I said I like her, but if it was a free concert, I'd be willing to go, but I ain't paying to go see her.
Yeah, me either. But all right, I think 25 was. All right, biggest takeaways from week 3, Mike.
I'm glad I wasn't on the show last week. I guess we could also find out how good of a team Louisville was. We also found out that Georgia State that the Sun Belt is slowly creeping up to possibly put up a major upset. Besides the Mississippi State upset, I think they're on the verge of possibly having one. Because if you look back at it, App State almost upset Tennessee.
And what about North Dakota State last week, upsetting Iowa? Which I mean,
I kind of saw that one coming, though.
I did call the upset for that game. I did pick Appalachian State to beat Miami because I'm like, App State might be really good this year. Well, I mean, they didn't show for.
I knew App State wasn't going to beat Miami.
That was a good game. The North Dakota State game versus Iowa. I was watching it, and that was a pretty good game.
Yeah, I said I almost had an upset in week 2, and I can't remember who it was against. Who was it?
To me, it's.
And I was completely upset because it could have happened.
You know what? I apologize to Georgia State. I didn't give them a chance. I did not give those guys a chance.
I was at work and I was paying attention. I couldn't believe my eyes. I'm like, there is no possible way Georgia State is going to pull up against Wisconsin.
Last week, I said that there ain't no way Georgia State's going to be Wisconsin. Well, they surely proved me wrong. They still didn't get the job done, but, I mean...
Oh, yeah, Troy and Clemson. So I said, the Southern team might upset
Troy and Southern Miss. Yeah, it was Troy and Clemson, but Troy, they look like a pretty good team this year. They beat Southern Miss last week. So, I mean, different conferences here. The Sun Belt, I think we've seen this recently. To me, I think this year there's been more. I think the talent level is getting kind of closer than normal,
Well, honestly, I think every team in the Sun Belt is almost a little bit even. They're all, let's see right there, they're all good. I don't know about even, but they're all good in some aspect. Georgia State, even though they haven't won a game, I don't think this year, except maybe one. They've shown that they've been a pretty good team, and every other team in the conference shows that they're a pretty good team.
It's going to be an interesting year because, the Sun Belt's kind of been more one of the harder ones to predict. because you don't know what team's going to show up. I mean, I thought going into South Alabama, the Mississippi State thing, and I don't think the SEC is as good as they've been in the past. I think
it's really truly like a 2 or 3 team league
it's
right now.
it's to me right now. I got Florida, Alabama. That's my top 2.
Yeah, well, no, that's exactly who it is. And you could maybe, like I said, possibly Ole Miss.
Oh, Ole
They
Miss.
almost beat Bama. I think Ole Miss could run the West.
It depends on if certain things happen.
Second.
I still don't think Danny Edeling for LSU's been good for them, but trying to gauge what you have against Mississippi State's not really a place to start because Mississippi State, they're just not that good this year.
No, I mean, don't get me wrong. I think Ellen was I'm glad they put him start now because now they have a chance because, I mean, Harris was just terrible. But
Harris to UL. Harris to UL.
Star spectacular, but he was definitely a
Look,
which might help him to
I
be
say,
a team this year.
look, I think for Brandon Harris, okay, same thing with Jennings. They wasn't in the offense that they need to be in. Because Jennings is 10 times better in this offense than he was at LSU. Wouldn't you agree?
I would say 10 times better, but he's definitely better in this offense.
Yeah, well, I mean, you could say that the talent level is a little bit lower, but I think it's more the
When you
offense.
have wide receiver as good as LSU does, you need a good quarterback to pass with.
Yeah, I mean, that's the way they run a pro-style offense. So, I mean, LSU, if you don't need a Heisman-winning quarterback, and everybody's like, we need a really great quarterback. No, you don't.
No, LSU never had a really Heisman-winning quarterback, and they won 3 championships without 3 Heisman-winning quarterbacks.
You just need a guy to get the ball to him, a game manager, which people hate the label, but I mean, a game manager gets the job done. He manages the game and gets it to their playmakers, like Leonard Fournette, and all those other guys out there. You know, they have people such as, let's see, I can't think of the guy's name, but I know who I'm talking about.
If I told you I could name some guys on the LSU team, I haven't really watched their
I
games.
know this guy's name because oh my gosh, what am I think? I can't think right now. My mind's on a block, guys. Sorry about that. But anyway, I don't know. I think Leonard Fournette, he's their big guy on their team. He's gonna be a
He's
Heisman.
not even putting up monstrous numbers either. He's not even. I checked the thing. He's not even in the top 5 for Heisman this year so far.
Yeah, I mean, everybody was predicting to be a preseason. He might turn it on. I mean, we've seen how he got shut down last year toward the end of the year.
Yeah, I mean, we'll see. I mean, this week's a good test for him.
Yeah, we'll see how well they do. I mean, it's going to be fun. I thought Missouri, they almost beat Georgia last week. So, I mean, I've seen that. I was just thinking like upsets that was close last week because Georgia is playing a very good team this week.
Oh, there's going to be an upset this week. I'm going to call one. I don't know on who yet, but I'll call one for sure.
I know we have a person we know, me and you, that does a lot around the community here. Got good friends at LSU, and he's got good friends at Auburn, you know. And he was posting about the game this week. You know what I'm talking about, huh, Mike?
Mm-hmm.
All right, let's see here. Let's start some picks, shall we, Mike?
We shall.
All right, tonight, 7 o'clock, USC versus number 24, Utah. Utah is favored by 3 points. Mike?
Not so fast. Give me USC to win this one.
SC?
This is my upset, by the way. It's an upset. It's not really much of one.
Yeah, 3 points ain't much of one. I'll agree with you on this one. I think USC is going to pull it off against Utah. I mean, Utah, they've had kind of a decent year, been more of a passing team this year than they normally have been. Troy Williams been getting the job done for them, but I think SC is going to get the win, though. And we know... Okay, wait. All right, my mother was trying to call me live on the air at the Fishbowl Radio. Good old mama. Well, okay, we each got SC, right?
Yep.
All right, Clemson won 26-7 over Georgia Tech. They're number 5, but we'll talk about Clemson later on if we need to. Which they are. All right, let's pick this game here. I see number 20, but I don't. Okay, there's 23. They're playing against somebody. Some teams got bye weeks, I think. Yeah, they do. Number 20, Nebraska versus unranked Northwestern. Mike.
Even Nebraska on Nebraska's a pretty good team this year.
Yeah, Nebraska. They beat Oregon last week.
They beat Oregon, right?
Yeah, I did pick Nebraska to beat Oregon last week. I was happy about that pick.
Northwestern's kind of slipping away slowly. I got Nebraska winning.
Yeah, same here, man. I think Nebraska's gonna get the job done this week. All right, now we go up to number 19. Well, they're playing somebody. The problem is with this, everybody's playing somebody. So, okay, next game. Number 18, LSU versus Auburn. Mike?
It's going to be a good game to watch. I think it's going to be better than Mississippi State game was last week. It was kind of god-awful to see how bad Mississippi State was playing. I actually stopped watching it, and then I start watching college football live, and it's like, oh, down to the wall, LSU and Mississippi State. I'm like, well, wait, what happened? I think LSU might squeak away with this one by like 3 points, but it's going to be close. I don't know if it's going to be as easy as it was against Mississippi State.
Look here, LSU is favored to win this game by 3.5 points. Now in football you can't win by 3.5 points.
Correct.
It's not possible. I'm thinking a touchdown would be the difference in this game. I think a late one at that. I'm glad that LSU made the change of quarterback when they did. Danny Edeling is definitely the guy they need to have on their team. Like I said earlier, you don't need a great quarterback. You just need a game manager. Kind of like how H.A. McCarron was for Alabama. He wasn't like... He can get the ball to their guys now. I mean, he can. So, I think Danny Edeling, they got a chance now, LSU, I think, to compete in the SEC because they would have kept with Brandon Harris. I don't think they would have got the job done, but I don't think LSU's where they need to be, though. I don't know what's going on with them because they look like really probably the most talented team coming back in the SEC. You know, they had all those guys coming back. So, and the loss to Wisconsin hurt them, obviously. But I think the SEC is a little bit down this year. I mean, Auburn's got Sean White at quarterback. He's done pretty good for him this year. He's got 3 touchdowns on the year. But Leonard Fournette's stats been kind of interesting. He's got 51 carries for 285 yards so far and 2 touchdowns. Granted, he did miss the game against Jacksonville State, but he hasn't been nearly the same guy we've seen last year. So I'll pick LSU to win this one by a touchdown. I think the defense of LSU, they let Mississippi State get back in the game because they should have had that game closed out way before that was even an issue, you know?
Sounds like another team from Louisiana, but we're going to wait later.
Yeah, we're going to wait, yeah. You got to finish your opponent. Finish them, you know? Oklahoma State versus number 16, Baylor. Baylor favor 8.5, and they're playing Waco. Mike.
Yeah, I don't know what happened to Oklahoma State. I mean, they lost, of course, the game to Central Michigan. I wasn't able to talk about it because I was on the show last week, but they haven't really been showing that they're all that great this year, so I'm going to go with Baylor. Even though they're not all that good either this year, I still think Baylor's going to pull up the win.
The SEC, the Big 12, they might not get in this playoff now.
No, not at Texas Falls, man. It's going to be close.
Yeah, it's going to be crazy to think about all this now because Oklahoma has 2 losses now. Yeah. They lost to Ohio State, and Oklahoma lost to... Who else did Oklahoma lose to? Dang, man. I can't think of it. They lost to...
I can't think of it either. Oh, they lost their first game of the year.
Yeah, they did. Houston.
Yeah.
It was Houston. Houston and Ohio State each beat Oklahoma, which, those are good losses to have, but they still hurt you. You're 1-2, and you got to figure out what you're going to do at that point because it's going to be tough when, I don't know who's going to come out of the Big 12 and actually win this thing now. I picked Oklahoma in the beginning part of the year, but history should have told me every time Oklahoma gets ranked in the top 5 in the polls, then they suck. They get back down to 8-5, usually. They can't handle high expectations. They never could underneath Bob Stoops. I don't understand why. But it's like their Achilles heel. Now when Oklahoma's kind of further down, like 11, 12 or something, they get up there and start winning games so they can get up there in the top 5 and actually be a contender like they were last year. But I'll pick Baylor. I don't think Oklahoma State's got enough this year to pull it off, but I think Seth Russell will do a good job this year and will lead them to victory. It's going to be a shootout, that's for sure.
No, definitely.
Definitely going to be a shootout over there in Waco. Let's see. Number 15 on the list here. As we continue to count them down here. And I don't see a number 15. Unless they're in another game. 14's in a game against a lower ranked team. But alright, we'll move at number 13 here. Number 13, Florida State versus South Florida. Mike?
I think someone on the show last week picked Florida State to win.
I did. Look, I picked...
I don't know, but he was the only one on the show last week, if I'm not mistaken.
Yes, I was.
So I think he may have picked Florida State to win. I think Florida State bounces back from that embarrassment of a loss. I mean, folks, that was so embarrassing. If I was a Florida State player, I'd transfer after. But I think South Florida, I don't know if they'll be able to put up with Florida State. I don't care how bad they may feel. I think Florida State's still going to win it.
People are saying it's Dalvin Cook injured at the end of the game. They're like, they just got beat. Louisville's just a better team. I think Lamar, oh my God, Lamar Jackson.
No, well, you see, and I said this in week 1. I said, well, he beat Charlotte, so that's not really much of a thing for Heisman. But after last week, he's kind of proving to me that, yeah, he's definitely the Heisman.
Look,
right now. Definitely
based on what we saw, that Louisville had a really easy schedule getting to the Florida State game. You can't base
they had it extremely easy, so you can never base Heisman performance off an easy schedule.
Yeah, and you can't even base team performance on the easy schedule like that. I mean, it's like, you destroyed both these teams, which you're expected to destroy both those teams. So, I mean, you do what you're told.
But against Florida State, on the other hand,
then you turn some heads.
Florida State like you just did.
He destroyed Florida State. I was watching this game, and I'm thinking Florida State's going to win this thing. And I'm like, because I made the pick, I'm like, it's going to be close. I didn't think they were going to blow them out like that. Then I see them start scoring. They're up like 14-0. I'm like, well, they might come back. Then no, never happened. I think Louisville, they were just simply the better team. It didn't matter where they were playing. It didn't matter they were playing Florida State at home, or they could have played them in the middle on the next continent. There was no way Florida State was going to beat Louisville that game. They just got outmatched, and that was something you don't normally see like that, you know.
No, but it's not like Florida State's a bust. They're actually a really good team this
Yeah,
year.
they even though they're starting a freshman quarterback in DeAndre Francois, I mean he's a good quarterback, and he got destroyed. Travis Rudolph for Florida State, he couldn't do anything really. I mean, they scored some points, but it wasn't like, I mean, they scored like 20-something points, right?
Yeah.
It was like 60-something to 20. It was a blowout. Like, I never seen that. I was watching. I was like, well, this is crazy. But I got Florida State winning this. I think they'll bounce back this week. I don't think they'll drop an egg. But Louisville, that's a team there. Ooh. I never thought I would see that, Mike. Let's see, 12-11's already playing. Ranked teams, so we gotta wait on them. We go up number 10, which I think they are playing a ranked team, so go up number 9. Number 9, Washington versus good. I mean, he's been pretty good this year. 53 carries on 298 yards and 3 touchdowns. But, I mean, he's a pretty good receiver as well for him. So, give me Stanford to win it. All right. Let's see. We're making sure we're not missing. Okay, number 8 is playing somebody, but they're playing a ranked team. So, number 6, Houston versus Texas State.
Last week, Houston struggled a bit against Cincinnati for a good part of the game, but then they ended up blowing them out. I think Houston winning this one. Texas State, I don't think is really going to be able to put up much of it. Actually, no, quit. Texas State pulls off the upset against Houston.
Whoa, upset.
I told you, I will pick it until it happens.
A Sunbelt. Okay, look.
It's almost So
Yeah.
you cannot doubt me on this.
Okay, look. I'm kind of a believer in this right now. There's a trend going on that some Belt teams are
Think
pulling.
about it. Appalachian State almost beat Tennessee. Troy almost beat Clemson. And Georgia State almost beat Wisconsin. I got Texas State beating Houston.
Okay, look, that's actually a good analogy because I was going to talk about that a little bit here. This could possibly happen. Georgia State, which everybody last year, they sucked, okay? They wasn't that good. Texas State, they're not that good either.
No, Texas State's pretty terrible. I mean, they're decent. They did beat Ohio, which is a pretty good game. Texas State's doing all right, but I don't know. They're not matched up with Houston, but Texas State's going to pull up the upset.
You know how big of an upset that is?
You heard it first on the Festival Radio, folks.
Look. Houston here is a 34.5 point favorite to win this here. Now, I'm betting Vegas money here. I'm thinking that if I'm betting Vegas here, I'm definitely taking Texas State. I don't think Houston's going to cover that. I don't know about an upset, but I got Houston winning this one. It might actually happen, though. I'm not going to doubt you at all, Mike. Because,
Well,
I mean,
hey, it happened 3 weeks in a row. It was close.
it was close.
So maybe the fourth is a charm, not the third, but the fourth is a charm.
The fourth is the charm for sure. Let's see here. Number 5 coming up. I think which is Ohio State, if I remember right. Well, that's Clemson, actually. So they've already played. Number 4, Penn State versus Michigan.
That could be a good game. I got Michigan winning this one, though. A good bit.
Michigan's been blowing everybody out they've been playing against.
Yeah.
Jim Harbaugh, I mean, he's turned Michigan's program around. And they're favored to win this by 18 points. But I think Michigan's going to win this game. It's nice to see Michigan be a really good program again, though. It's like kind of like the old school coming back, kind of. So yeah, give me Michigan. Number 3, Louisville versus Marshall.
I got Louisville. That's pretty good. I mean, I thought I saw against Florida State. I'm not down that.
Lamar Jackson.
Yeah, I forgot. Lamar Jackson. There you go. Definitely the Heisman. Definitely the one the Heisman polls by now. And I know y'all may say, "Wow, if you want to get your words," but I feel pretty confident right now. So I got Lamar Jackson winning this one with Louisville.
Lamar Jackson's going to beat Marshall. Like, he makes so many plays for Louisville. He's almost his own team, This guy has 18 total touchdowns in 3 games. That's 6 touchdowns a game, guys. That's 40-something points. It's him himself. A game. Whether it's passing or running. I've seen a stat where he's like, I think he was like, I don't know, I think he was like second or something on rushing or whatever. Like, I was impressed with Lamar Jackson last week, and I apologize to Louisville fans everywhere because I mean I was like, it's gonna be close. They got my respect right now. Give me Louisville to beat Marshall. I think they'll cover the spread, 27 points. I'll definitely take that spread actually, because I mean Lamar Jackson's averaged about 6 touchdowns a game, so that's 40-something points. Definitely, I'll take that bet. I'll definitely take that bet. Numbers on my side there, so. Number 2. I don't think number 2 is playing this week. Alabama's got an easy game this week. Or they should have an easy game. But crazier things have happened this year already. Alright, number 2 is not playing this week. Kent State versus number 1 Alabama.
Who's Alabama playing?
Kent State.
Oh, I got Alabama in this one.
Yeah, I think Jalen Hurts and Calvin Ridley and them, they're going to take care of this. Damian Harris has been good for them in the running game, but give me Alabama. They got pretty good balance in their team. I like Alabama, and their defense has been pretty good this year. All right. Now we're done picking the regulars. Let's get down to some ranked teams here. All right, our game of the week will be. Can I get a drum roll, please, somebody? Number 11, Wisconsin versus number 8, Michigan State. That's going to be our game of the week. But we're going to save that one. Number 17, Arkansas versus number 10, Texas A&M.
This is one of the games that I'm going to be missing. I'm going to regret missing. I want to watch it. Texas A&M has been scary good this year. They're dark horse in the SEC, but so is Arkansas. I'm going to take Arkansas, but it's going to be by a field goal late.
Field goal. All right. I'm gonna pick Texas A&M. Trevor Knight's been pretty good this year for Texas A&M, and Josh Reynolds. They've both been very good for him this year. Texas A&M, I think they'll win by a touchdown. It's gonna be in the fourth quarter. They get the ball last, and they go take it to Arkansas. They're playing in Arlington, so it's kind of one of those things. Yeah, give me A&M. But, both those teams could easily win that game. Though Arkansas, they struggle against La Tech and stuff. So, I mean, it's like, It's kind of why I'm kind of... Now, this is a game I'm looking forward to. Won't be able to watch it. Very disappointed with that. Number 19, Florida versus number 14, Tennessee. Mike?
Folks, if there's one thing you have to remember in all your life is that ducks cannot pull trucks, alright? Just remember that for your whole life. A duck cannot pull a truck.
Exactly.
Alright? I got Florida winning this one.
All right. Tennessee is favored to win this game. Wait, what?
I said Tennessee is a duck.
Yeah. Tennessee is also overrated this year. Completely.
Yeah, to our surprise, they're overrated this year.
They are overrated. Too high. Jalen Hurd hasn't done enough this year. Luke Del Rio for Florida has been very good for them. Florida has one of the best defenses in the country.
No, they have the best
I think
defense in the country.
that's a fact.
That is a proven fact. They played two very, very terrible teams, don't get me wrong. But three terrible teams, but over that time, they had the best defense in the country.
Florida's only given up 14 points in 3 games.
Yeah, like I said, it's against terrible teams, but I don't care how you look at it.
Yeah.
It's the best defense, so.
They're first in the SEC East right now. Tennessee, they got to step up their game or they're going to get their butt stomped here. Because, I mean, they haven't played good at all. They should have lost to App State. App State did a terrible decision late in the game. Should have never happened. They gave up 24 points to Virginia Tech. And they gave up 19 points to Ohio. Now, so I mean, Ohio gave them a run for a while. 9-point win. You should be blowing out Ohio if you're like a top 25 team,
Mm-hmm.
But Tennessee, they have a terrible schedule coming up. They have to play Florida this week. Then next week they go on the road to Athens to take on Georgia. Then after that they go on the road to take on Texas A&M. Then they play at home against Alabama. There's going to be a loss in there somewhere. Probably 2, maybe even 3. Give me Florida to beat Tennessee. And before we pick the game of the week, let's talk about this game, Mike. You ready for it?
Mm-hmm.
UL Lafayette will take on Tulane. Green Wave. The Raging Cajuns will take on the Green Wave. 7 o'clock. ESPN 3 at Yeoman Stadium. I think that's how you say it, right?
I guess that's how I've been pronouncing it.
Yeoman. That's how... Yeoman or Yeoman. I could be wrong, but look. Me and Mike's coming on the road over there in New Orleans, and we'll take some pictures and put it up there. I like going to opposing team stadiums. It's kind of fun. It's always interesting to see how people...
It's fun being the opponents.
It is.
At a football game. Especially when you win.
Yeah.
Me and Chief only been on one trip where we actually won, and we're the road team. But the other time we got our butt stomped, and it was disappointing because it was a long ride back home.
Yeah, we're 1-1 on the road, Mike.
We're 1-1, and after this week, I believe we'll be 2-1 because last time UL Tulane played, there are definitely two different rosters for sure. So I'm not going to kind of feel like that. But UL didn't win. Tulane's been a pretty good team this year. They only have one win, which is against Southern. Which I mean, if you look at it, anybody's going to beat Southern. They lost to Wake Forest 7-3, and that's, I mean, Wake Forest is pretty bad at football. They had a pretty good game against Navy, but I'm not too sure saying Navy is all that great this year. They're pretty decent. So, I mean, to think that they're a good team, well, I guess we'll probably find out tomorrow or somewhere down the road. But I think UL's going to win, but it's going to be extremely close.
They lost to Wake Forest 7-3, like you said, and they lost to Navy 21-14. They're going to have a hashtag selfie from your seat contest coming up in Yeoman Stadium this Saturday. It's going to be very interesting. Tulane hasn't announced their starting quarterback. But so far, Tulane hasn't been able to actually throw the ball very well. They're not good at throwing the ball.
Which is a good thing for UL because UL got a pretty dang good running defense. But pass defense is about the worst. And UL lost one of their best corners this week. So
Savion Brown, he's actions, dimensional, not being a raging actions don't fit a raging Cajun. That's what Coach Hud had said on his actions.
If they don't have a good passing offense, and that means your defense is probably going to be pretty good against them this week.
Yeah, I think I'm going to go with UL. And I was talking with, Mike knows this, I talked with remember at the Raging Cajun Athletic Foundation, Mike?
Mm-hmm.
I talked to Dave Schultz. He said UL was going to win 4 games this year. Remember that?
Yep.
And I told him that Anthony Jennings was going to be better than he was at LSU. He's like, explain to me why. I told him different offensive setup, which Jennings is better than he was at LSU. Granted, he did throw 2 interceptions last week. One, he got hit when he was trying to throw the ball out of bounds. But, I mean, you can't fault him for that interception. One was just a bad read. I mean, he's not going to be perfect all year long, but I don't think UL needs him to be perfect. Tulane's got a terrible pass defense. Southern put that on display real quick. Southern was able to complete ball left and right and stuff. I think Tulane's going to lose this game by a touchdown. UL has a hard time closing games out. That's why I said touchdown.
Oh, yeah.
So,
see that against South Alabama, they had them blown out when halftime was after the first series of the halftime, and then boom, South Alabama makes a close game. I'm like, well, what are you doing? They had McNeese blown out, and they put down a close game, so it's...
Yeah, like we kind of ease on the pedal, kind of like what LSU was doing to Mississippi State last week, and they almost cost them the game doing that. But I think UL is going to win the game. Or UL Lafayette, because people might be thinking I'm saying UL like Louisville. But around here we call it UL because as much as LSU fans hate to say it, but we are the University of Louisiana. Ended at that. You can use Louisiana. There's no way in the state thing where you can't just the word of Louisiana Raging Cajuns. You can use Louisiana in an athletic context as long as it ain't part of the university. But you know, there's LSU fans that are bitter about that, but you just got to call it like you see it. And also, there's another report that I've seen this week. Brandon, this is crazy, guys. Like, you should not threaten anybody over anything. And if you sent stuff to Brandon Harris threatening his life, you need to reevaluate your priorities.
Oh, yeah.
That was
nuts.
nuts.
I don't care how bad a player is.
Like,
There's no point to be sending death threats to him. I mean, come on.
Look, last year...
He's a kid who's really terrible at football.
Look.
He's not like he's stalking your family or some stuff like that.
Yeah.
He's just not good at football. Don't send him death threats. Just
like, it was bothering him.
Just keep your mouth shut.
Like, really, look, I mean, last year, UL was having a terrible year. Me and Mike was disappointed. We didn't go out there, because we have class with some of these people. We didn't send them death threats via Twitter like, I hate you, Brooks hack, or something like that. We
Yeah,
didn't.
I mean, it's never. I mean, I'm passionate about sports. I'm not gonna go and threaten.
Yeah, that's
I'm not
over the
gonna
line.
threaten somebody.
Sports is there's always gonna be next year. That's something everybody needs to remember. You had one bad year, but
You say that, but the Cleveland Browns, they've been having bad years.
maybe next year might turn around. The Saints waited so long to win a Super Bowl. It finally happened.
But the Cleveland Browns have been longer than the Saints, and the Cleveland Browns still suck. But I mean,
But look, they don't send none of their players death threats.
no, I'm saying, if you're a Cleveland Browns fan, you're choosing.
That irritates me so much because you take a game that is literally what it is, a game. These players don't get paid for this stuff. Well, they're not supposed to get paid for it, okay? I have a...
Yeah, I'm about to say, don't say that. Some players are getting paid right now, trust me.
Because I don't see how they get some of these guys to go to their schools. That's like, oh, what? Oh, wait, like, what? But, I mean, legally, they're not supposed to get paid by the NCAA or they become ineligible.
I mean, look at me and Chief are local passionate fans. We were traveling next week to whoever traveling tomorrow to Tulane and Ponce to Monroe. That sounds good. We're passionate about your football, but we would never send a death threat to somebody like Jennings if he has a bad game or something like that.
Yeah, I mean, even if it's been a long, terrible season, we did not never send a death threat to Brooks Hack. We're like, look, take him out and try somebody else.
It was just the worst year. It was hard for us to sit through a game and watch it because it was like, man, what the hell is going on?
I mean, there ain't nothing we can do about it. We gotta hope that Coach Hud or whoever makes the right adjustment to pull the guy out and put the best guy for the job in. You just kind of expect these things. That's so crazy to even think about people sending death threats to a like. We gotta remember this. We forget this sometimes that these players are literally 18, 19, through 18 through 22-year-old, young adults. They literally haven't got out in the world yet to really kind of seen how it is. I mean, me and Mike's young, but I'm taking up for Brandon Harris, which it shouldn't be there. Okay, that was kind of. Oh, okay, wait. All right. Look, okay, we did lose a little bit of our stream there now that I'm looking at the log history here. It was at 2:04, but anyway, back on my rant here about people sending death threats to kids. I mean, young adults, because that's what we are. But that's stupid. That's completely retarded. That's not something you should even be using, Let me be more politically correct and not use that word. Yeah. I'm sorry if I offended anybody by saying that, but anyway, you shouldn't be sending death threats to people because this is just a game at the end of the day. We go home. It doesn't affect your life in any way.
Unless you're the coach.
You got to give your faith in Les Miles because he is your coach. He put Brandon Harris in this position. You got to trust his decision making. If you don't like it, then you get rid of him. I know they got some big donors with some big pockets there at LSU that could easily outbuy Les Miles' contract. But you either put your money up or you shut up. All right. Done with my rant. Number 11, Wisconsin versus 8, Michigan State.
I got Michigan State winning this one. Wisconsin is kind of not showing me enough this year. Michigan State showing me a bit. I think Michigan State's winning this one.
I think LJ Scott from Michigan State has been pretty good for him. 42 carries for 203 yards and 2 touchdowns. I mean, between two games, it's been pretty good for him. They're playing at Spartan Stadium. It's going to be 71 degrees. I wish we had 71 degrees over here. That'd be really nice right now, but we get like 90-degree temps here. But yeah, I think Michigan State's gonna win this game here. I'm really the Big Ten this year to me is the best conference. I think the Big Ten is the best conference this year.
Yeah, I could see that. I mean, you got Ohio State. Ohio State, Michigan State, Wisconsin. I mean, yeah.
That's 4 teams there. I think Michigan State's going to win this game by a touchdown, though. So I think the Big Ten is the best conference here. I think Bart Houston for Wisconsin. He's been decent this year. Played a really good game against LSU. They had a really close game with LSU, but I mean,
yeah, remember he's a freshman quarterback, so he's really.
Yeah, he is a young guy. He's just still learning the ropes, but We'll see what happens. I think Michigan State's going to get the win, though. All right, that should be all for today. I'm surprised Juicy didn't try to chime in. So we'll see what happens. But I appreciate everybody listening to us here on the live stream here we got going on here on Spreaker.com and on iHeartRadio. If you want to listen to us through there, you can listen to us there. You want to add anything else, Mike?
Yeah, next week we'll probably be able to pick Western Michigan and Army because they're going strong. Go Army and go Broncos.
Yeah, they've been able to.
Those are two teams I like to pay attention to. And Army, man, they're tearing it right now. They beat UTEP last week, and they annihilated them. Army's going to creep through into the top 25 if they keep playing like this. And then Western Michigan owns the state of Illinois apparently because they beat Illinois, they beat Northwestern, and I think the only team they have to beat now is North Illinois. They're really scary good this year, Western Michigan.
You wouldn't expect that yet. You know, they were kind of
Well, I said they're 2-0 against teams in the Big Ten. I mean, Illinois isn't that good, and Northwestern not that good, but still to have 2 wins against them shows that they're actually a pretty good team.
Yeah. All right. Well, we'll see everybody down there in New Orleans. If you're gonna go be a Cajun fan or a Tulane fan, we'll sit and talk with you. If you listen to us in New Orleans, come up and have a conversation with us. We're always welcome to talk about football or anything else that you want to discuss. It's very we'll give you our thoughts on it. Should be a very fun time down there in New Orleans. I mean, I want to go look around Tulane's campus. I mean, I've never been on Tulane's campus, so, it'd be kind of fun just to go walk around and see all the buildings and different things they have over there,
Mm-hmm.
I mean, we walked around Monroe's campus a little bit, remember?
Mm-hmm.
A little bit, I mean. Funny thing about we didn't go on La Tech's campus, which I kind of wish we did.
Yeah, La Tech's campus isn't on there.
Yeah.
Kind of where their facilities at, so we couldn't really.
Yeah, it was kind of like off there. I mean, Tulane, we would be at the Superdome if it was.
Yeah, we've been to the Superdome before, but we've never been to the new stadium.
Yeah, I think we got some good seats though from where we're at, but.
I mean, they're free, so there's no.
We got some free tickets here because I was at South Alabama game and I was talking to somebody and they gave us some free tickets to go. So, thank you, UL, for the free tickets.
It's about time we get rewarded for something after all this money.
After we drain all this, you know what? I'm gonna tell Mike this because I'm not gonna say this because this is different than football, but he's gonna laugh when I tell him. But anyway, like us on Facebook, the Fishbowl Radio. Follow us on Twitter at Fishbowl Nation. You can follow us there. You can follow me on Instagram if you want, Chief Fishbowl, and you can follow Mike on Instagram at
the main Honcho 14 underscores after every word.
The _main _Honcho 14. You can follow him on there. I don't know if you posted anything recent, Mike.
I haven't posted nothing on any social media site, folks. It's been a crazy week for me. All right.
Get off his back, dang it!
I pre-ordered 2K17 to play. I got it. Played one game and had to quit because I had to do schoolwork. This whole week, last night and tonight is going to be me playing 2K17.
Ball out.
Mm-hmm.
Ball out always. But yeah, it should be a fun time. You know what? I think I'm going to go. It should be fun. It's going to be an interesting trip. Always is, Mike. New Orleans is just an interesting city on its own. Should be a fun time. Thank you for tuning in. Hope you have a great, wonderful weekend. It's Friday, everybody. Everybody go have some fun tonight. Catch y'all later, guys. See y'all next week.